Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, whether you're tuning in on the radio dial here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM. We welcome you. Also, those joining us online around the world, thanks to our affiliates. We're glad to have all of you with us as well. Well, as we know, there's been a lot going on in the news this year, and especially for us here in the South, we've had a lot of storms that we've been dealing with. One of the storms in particular that definitely wreaked a lot of havoc was Hurricane Irma. But it was actually what happened after that and the people that were involved in being able to help other individuals. It really caused a viral sensation that our next guest was a part of. We're excited to welcome Officer Bylynn to our program today. He is one of the officers that was featured by the Gainesville Police Department in Florida in some pictures that went viral. Had a lot of people talking, and now they're being able to use that platform to be able to make a difference. We're going to talk to not only Officer Hatcher's love of law enforcement, but also what it's been like for him to make a difference in the community. Officer Hatcher, hello to you, and welcome to the program.
How you doing? And good evening, and thanks for having me.
Hey, the pleasure is definitely all mine. You know, I have to start with, as I said, what happened with these viral pictures. I mean, which it has to be, in the middle of everything else that's going on, in the world. It's good to be able to have some stories, to have people smiling and talking. I mean, what was it like for you to be a part of this, Officer Hatcher, to see the response to these photos of you and your fellow officers?
It was actually a new experience for me because this was my first hurricane I experienced. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Bylynn, Ohio. And for me to experience this and have to go through this, it was something totally different for me, but it was exciting at the same time because I have experience. So being a part of it, and when it came down to actually have to go out in this horrible weather and this tragic hurricane, it was just crazy because we went on a A and B alpha rotation, which it was 12-hour shifts. And our PIO, Ben Tobias, before we went out, he said, hey, if you guys could do us a favor and make sure you take pictures of anything that's going on out there, where you're working and so forth, so we can post it on our Facebook page. It's something that he's phenomenal with, and he always likes to keep the community and residents involved in. So we went out there, and as we were cutting down trees and trying to move power lines and branches and trees off of houses, we took a few pictures, and they were posted. The three guys before me, they got their pictures posted first, and I guess it started creating a little buzz. And so some women was saying some things, some PG-13 things, and some other inappropriate things. But the main thing they started asking was about, where's the chocolate? We want to see some chocolate. Where's some chocolate? So before I even knew any of this was going on, I had posted and sent in some pictures, and then Ben Tobias had finally posted them, and then that's when it even started blowing up even more. And people, as I was cutting down trees, they would ask me, blow my phone up, hey, have you seen the picture that's going viral? I'm like, what picture? What picture? Like the picture you sent in. So I didn't know nothing about it. I'm up here cutting down trees. I say, look, I'll call y'all back after I get done doing this work. But my phone was nonstop going off. And when I finally went and checked it, and I would start reading the comments, I couldn't do nothing but just bust out laughing. It was crazy.
Right. And like you said, Officer Hatcher, this has to be, for all of you guys, at least, a glimmer of something to be able to have something to smile about. Because, as I said, the storms definitely wreaked a lot of havoc here in the South and dealing with a lot of different things. It was funny to me, when I first heard about the story, it was actually on Fox News. And one of the things that I thought was interesting is that your department had to put out a statement after the photos went viral, urging people not to call 911 so they could get one of the officers to respond to their homes. When you heard that, and you mentioned the comments, it was funny. I remember the story, some of your fellow officers were called hunkopotamuses. You were called, sexy chocolate. What was it like for you, like I said, in the middle of everything going on, to kind of hear these things being said about you guys?
It was good to hear. It was good that people was having fun with it, because most of the time, as you see in the news, officers are viewed in a negative way, and you know that we these people who don't care about the people in the society or anything like that, when it's really not that, because we human as well. So it really felt good to see some positive light, even though some of the crazy comments was in there, which, like I said, I don't have a problem with. I thought it was entertaining and fun to see it happening, but it felt real good to finally get put in this positive light and seeing what we're doing. And because, you know, a lot of people had to leave their family at a bad time as that hurricane came. We had to leave our families. Everybody left their families to come protect the families in the neighborhoods and citizens of the town that we live in. So that was a big plus, man. I kind of enjoyed that, and I'm still enjoying it because you still get people in the community that's appreciative of that and is thankful that we were out there and thankful for some of the photos because they got to experience some hurricane as well with the photos.
Right. And it's good to know that you guys are going to be a part of a project that's going to help, of course, to be able to make a difference for sure. I want to go back to something you said, Officer Hatcher, and that is, of course, the things that we hear about police officers these days. I want to ask you, I mean, what was it about law enforcement? Because you have had many things that you've been known for. You have the passion, of course, for fitness, and even on Fox they mentioned, and I noticed in prepping for this segment, you know, modeling was one of the things that you did before becoming an officer. What was it about law enforcement that attracted you to it?
Well, what attracted me about law enforcement was the way I was treated growing up. I wasn't treated the best by police officers. I was harassed. I was profiled. But one thing I didn't put every officer in every category, or in the same category. I'm sorry. And what I mean by that is the officers who treated me bad or did me wrong, those were the officers I had a problem with, because there were plenty of officers that were on the other side of the spectrum that tried to help me, guide me in the right way. Because I'm not saying I was an angel as I was growing up. You know, I did things and stuff like that, but it was at some point in time that I don't think I should have been treated the way I was treated in certain encounters with the police. So as I got older, I'm like, you know, I've been on both sides of the fence of being harassed, and I've been on the mentoring side, so I thought I could make a difference in whatever community I serve in and make a difference and try to help guide people in the right way. Not saying I will always be able to do that, but at least I can say I've been on both sides of the fence of being harassed and being accused of something that I didn't do.
Right. Exactly. And now you're able to be an example, too, Officer Hatcher, for other young people, right, as far as, you know, not only, of course, what law enforcement is doing, as, you know, we were able to see again after Hurricane Irma, but also, of course, the difference that you can make in someone's lives. How does that feel? Because mentoring is also a big part of your platform now. I mean, how does it feel to be able to show other young people, not only, of course, what they can become, but also give them another view of law enforcement that maybe they're not used to hearing about?
It's just a platform you can use to, like I said, if you, especially as been in some of the lower subdivisions and where people don't get to see too much positive and have people come and talk to them about you can make it out of this situation and become a doctor or law enforcement officer or something like that. So you get a chance to talk with a lot of these kids who are growing up in these bad neighborhoods, and you can really make a difference on their life because they do see you as a higher standard or a public figure or a role model of all types, you know, because some of them don't have role models at home in their own house. So you got to make sure you take your opportunity to the highest when you dealing with people in the community, because you never know who you may inspire and help reach other goals in their life.
That's true. That's true. And I think, again, also what's happened this year, Officer Hatcher, I think shows people another thing, and that is that we don't have to be defined by the difficult times that we face. Again, you know, there was a tragedy there, of course, with the storms that took place, the damage that was done, but even with the Gainesville Police Department, and this is something that other people can be able to look for ways that they can be able to make a difference. You all are planning on making a calendar there to be able to help raise money and awareness, of course, for the relief efforts after Hurricane Irma. Is that also you want people to know that no matter where they are or where they, you know, what their job or, you know, how they see themselves, that they can be able to make a difference in their own community?
Exactly. You don't have to be a police officer or a basketball star or anything like that just to make a difference in the community. You know, you can be a person that's worked 30 years and retired and you have something that you want to do in your community to help uplift it or bring the youth up into a better position. But like I said, you don't have to be in a position that I'm in just to make a difference. I mean, that's not how it works. I mean, people are inspired by people who can not just talk the talk, but walk the walk at the same time. You know,
right?
People think you have to be this high-profile person just to make a difference, and that's totally opposite of what it is. Because most of the people who made a difference in my life was not no superstar or this superhero or somebody that was famous. I looked up to people who grew up in my neighborhood and actually made a difference in my neighborhood. Those are the people I looked up to.
Got you. Well, Officer Hatcher, we really appreciate the time. We know that it's always a busy time for those individuals in law enforcement, those that are protecting a service. We appreciate you taking out a few moments to speak with us. Again, everyone, we've been speaking today with Bylynn Hatcher. He's an officer there with the Gainesville Police Department in Florida. We've been talking to him not only, of course, about the attention that the police department got this year, but also how he's been able to use his platform to make a difference, how the police department is making a difference by putting together this calendar, and how really all of us can make a difference, no matter where we might be. And Officer Hatcher, it goes without saying, you're welcome back here anytime, man. Would love to have you back on the program again.
I appreciate it, Cyrus. Thank you for having me.
Hey, glad to do it. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. I want to thank our good friend Lisa G of Connecting You to PR for setting up this conversation with us for today. And definitely thank all of you all for tuning in. If you all came in late, you missed part of the conversation with Officer Hatcher, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media site. So head over to Facebook.com/CyrusWebb or go over to Twitter.com/CyrusWebb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share with your friends from there too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. You all make it a great one.